Hi there, and good morning, or good evening, or whatever it is where you are in the world. Look at those nice sleeping bags behind me. At this point, that whole movement. I don't know if you remember; it was very fashionable some time ago. MGTOW, men going their own way. That whole concept makes a lot of sense now. Not in the sense it makes a sense to me that I finally understand it. But what I'm trying to say is that um, men going their own way, men refusing to adapt to modern culture, modern society, it makes a lot of sense. And I've I've seen recently a big push towards shaming men even more, as if it wasn't enough of that already. But I've seen that new narrative now seems to be okay. So I, I guess you've heard about the male loneliness epidemic, and the fashionable thing to do, especially if you're a man who wants to score some online points with the female audience. The fashionable thing to do is to say that well, it's really the men themselves are to blame, and they will throw in terms like toxic masculinity is to blame. And I think that I will say that before AI took its well, before it became obvious where we are heading with I wouldn't have cared mentioning this because I think it's just too sad. But these lies that are being spread, because that's a fucking lie. These lies, we need to address them. Okay. Um, why? Because AI very, very soon will dictate what people think. And that's because people very, very soon will stop using the internet. Now, already people, they can't manage to use another search engine than Google. That's bad enough, but they won't even Google it. They will just let AI give a response. And AI, it will be. it, it's amazing that I have to say this, but it seems like people don't get it at all. The AI will give you answers according to the official narrative from the corporations that owns corporations that own the politicians and the governments. And you may call me a conspiracy theorist. If you're listening to this, I don't care. It's like at this point, it's like I don't care. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care because I know I'm right, and this is so obvious. And you will see. If you doubt what I'm saying now, you will see. Um, it would have been nice, of course, if you saw it already. Then together we could fight it, but that's not going to happen. Now, I'm going to try to keep this live stream short because I have things to do. um, so I'll kind of yeah. So the male loneliness epidemic, just to address that a little bit more. It's obviously a part of um, the general loneliness epidemic. Now, it's very cute when people say that they don't need anyone and they are happy alone, and some people are. Some people are, but even the people who are happy on their own, they kind of isolate themselves from the world. They if you talk to them, and I have, they will say that if the world was a bit different, they would prefer to be with someone, like in a romantic relationship. Mr. Sorpos says that found a video out there with a clip or two ripped from the videos. Yeah, I know. These fucking thieves. I hope they burn in hell. They do that. They do that. They steal because they can't create their own content. They do that. So the male loneliness epidemic is serious, and the loneliness epidemic in general is serious. I won't get into that so much here in this live stream, but I will say that it's not caused by the male loneliness epidemic is not caused by that mythical thing called toxic masculinity. It's not. That's bad pop psychology. It's not true. Okay. Now, I used to work as a therapist, and I talked with many men and women. And one thing that I learned is that men quickly learn that women in general are not interested in them showing emotions. Well, it's okay if it's on the list of approved emotions, but the male register of emotional expression is not approved. It's just not approved. The negative emotions, the male expression of negative emotions, it's not approved. Men tend to be more physical when they express frustration. Not talking about violence, but it's in the way they move, the way they talk, and that's not approved. That's very often called aggression. It's called toxic behavior, and so on and so on. And that's not approved. So to all the women out there who are saying that, oh, I want men to show their emotions, no, probably you don't want that because you're not mature enough to handle that at all. And that's just the tragic truth out there. So why do men shut down their emotions? Well, it's because they learn that their emotions are not being approved by society. Okay? This is very simple. And anyone who can add 2 and 2 together and get 4 as a result will be able to understand that. But understanding it is one thing, and accepting the answer might be a little bit more difficult to some people. Now, let's move on. So this MGTOW, men going their own way, it makes a lot of sense now. It was commercialized, of course, with these podcasters and all of that, and it kind of led to the red pill movement, which is kind of disgusting. But it's I don't see how, if you're a man, now this goes for some women as well, but I won't be talking about women now. If you're a man who can think for himself and you have some standards, for yourself, and you have some standards for women, meaning that if you are to enter a romantic relationship, you have some standards. It's that might be different from person to person, but you do have some checkpoints, so to speak. And we all have that. And anyone who says that they don't is a liar. So, trying to follow my mental script. I don't use scripts. You know how many of these YouTubers who just read from the screen? Quite a lot of them, actually. But anyway, I don't do that. So what I find, this is the personal part of this. I'm quite visible as someone with, a couple of big YouTube channels, and let's just be honest here. I'll be honest. A couple of times a week, maybe more, women will reach out with messages. I am on Instagram, and I see where Instagram is heading. I don't like it, so I won't be there forever. Let's just put it that way. But these women reach out through Instagram, because that's the only place they can reach out to me, and they obviously have a romantic intention, and then you get the impression that it's like they, how should I put this? It's okay to try, that's allowed to try, but it's like, why the hell would I be interested? Why do they assume that I would be interested? It's like, no. And I'm not saying this to say that I'm such a great person and all the women in the world, they want me and all of that. That's not what I'm saying. But when you see these women complaining about how men are always messaging them and so on and so on, you think women are any better? No, they're not. They are not. So it's hilarious because in my case, I see a lot of that, American Christian middle-aged woman. That's the typical profile. And I assume they want me to stop being a pagan and bend my knee for Jesus and all of that. Fucking hell, it's so disgusting, even the thought of that. And it's just depressing. And you know what happens? You just isolate yourself. That's what I do. That's what I do. You get fed up with people. And another thing, I just want to say this. This goes for both men and women. People these days are so fucking dumb. It's in the sense that you can talk about things, and I've seen this changing during the last few years. You can only talk about a few things. You need to pick some of the things that are present in popular culture at the moment. And they won't even. Okay, so I'm interested in history, especially Viking Age history. Now, I won't go around talking to people about that, but like I had one woman who said, what was it again? Now, you know what? I'll use another example. I'll just skip that part, actually, just to preserve the person's anonymity. But they won't get what you're talking about, people these days. You can't talk to them about almost anything. And many of these people, they have no idea. Like, when the war in Ukraine started, I was so naive because I thought people knew where the country is, where is Ukraine, but the people seem to have no fucking clue. Especially, and I must say this, especially very, very opinionated Americans. They don't even know where the country is. What is this? And when people are like that, I can't. I check out. I check out. I can't. You know, it's this stupidity that is spreading like a true epidemic. It's so disheartening to watch that. And now with the AI, it's the brain rot is just all over the place. People stop thinking, and when people stop thinking, they can't be critical anymore. Okay, and so we have one guy here. He's just screaming MAGA. You know how stupid that makes you look, right? No, you don't. No. So I will say that in general, I have a better chance of slightly, slightly better chance of reaching people when I talk about geopolitical stuff, history, geography, if I talk to a man. I'm sorry to say this, but most women, not all women, but most women seem to be completely clueless. And in addition to that, and this is a thing with women that men usually don't have, it's that self image that they are so fucking pretty. Now, here's a bit of information. Most women don't look like supermodels, okay? Let's just put it that way, right? It's and it, and that's fine, that's fine. I do believe that the personality is the most important thing. But if your personality has been shaped by constantly having these sad, sad men messaging you on social media, telling you that you're so pretty, you're so sexy, you're so this and that, when you're uploading a image with your, they use these filters on their face and everything, even their body. I've heard. I don't even know how that works, but apparently that's what they do. It's not even a real photo. It's just and then they think that they're so great, so wonderful, so pretty. So listen, how many people are here on the world now, in the world? Like 8. Now I'm ignorant. How many are there now? It's moving fast now. Actually, the population is slowing down, but half the world's population is female. So it's like, why the hell would you be interested in a self-entitled um, self-entitled ignorant woman who can't even place Ukraine on the map? Why would you be interested in that? You know. So, now, yeah, complain about women now. That's why I do this sometimes, and I will do it again. And I think that it needs to be done. It needs to be done. This channel needs moderators. There are moderators here. It's like Paddy here. We keep him because it's funny. That's just what we do. Um, so yeah, So okay, now I think that the second best option is to be alone, especially if you're a man. The second best option is to be alone. Now I won't even get into the legal system, but be careful out there. It might ruin it might ruin you. So if you care about your peace, you know, I think it's best to just be alone at this point. Um, Now there is this thing with dating apps, and I can't really talk about that because I've never been on a dating app. I don't know how they work, and I have no interest in that. And but what I'm hearing is that they're just fake. Like it's just nonsense. Um, so then what do you do? I think that I still think that if you want to find someone for a romantic relationship, I think it's probably a good thing to seek out environments where you can find someone that you share some interest with. If you like hiking, go hiking with other people, maybe. Um, so you know, I dating apps. Stay away from dating apps, says Gladys Kravitz Jr. Well, yes, I've never been on a dating app. Why would I be on a dating app? I'm not interested. so, um, so it's you know, yeah, men going their own way. That whole thing. It makes a lot of sense. More sense now than a couple of years ago. Uh, and this is not a good development, of course, because in a wider perspective, we need more kids to be born. We need we should get up to 4 children per woman. Actually, uh, that's just a simple equation, and and you see those women on social media who take pride in not having children. That's all very cute, but you're going to have to work until you drop because of that. Because there won't be any pension for you when you're 70. I'm saying 70 and not 60. There won't be any pension for you. You're going to have to keep working. And guess what? When you get old, you're probably going to be fired from your job, and then you're going to have to take another job, like I don't know, delivering food or something like that. That's what you're going to have to do, because the equation won't add up. There won't be enough young people working that are paying taxes to pay for your pension. So that's the consequence, right? And yeah, if you think that's if that's what you want, be childless, you know, and that's. But I don't know about you. I don't want to be ending my life walking up the stairs to deliver food to some self-entitled fucking 20-year-old, you know, die of a heart attack at the age of 85 and walking up the stairs to someone. You get what I'm saying here? You get what I'm saying here? Now, you can't force people to have children, obviously. This is a wider discussion, I guess, but a lot of things need to change for that to change, for people starting to have more children again. But it won't. It won't. And you know why? Because people, like 1 or 2 years from now, people will be a lot more dumb and stupid and ignorant than they are now. It will happen very, very fast. Now, I'm throwing some statements out there just to start a discussion, just to make people think and react. Okay? Because we need that. I don't care if you agree or disagree. I only care about you thinking about these things, right? This is important because with AI being implemented into everything, with AI very soon replacing reading, doing internet searches, and even the AI taking charge of your thinking and your feelings. And it's coming, and it's going to happen very, very soon. It's going to spread, and it's going to result in a major brain rot among the general population. And I want to wake up people before that happens. Don't use fucking AI. And I'm telling you, this is maybe the most important choice that you can make. It will be the most important choice that you are making, and it's very possible. You can do it, okay? Now, I'm, as I said, I had to get a smartphone because the fucking government here, they closed down the 2G network. I used to have a dumb phone, and I'm waiting for. So the situation is that I they have the 4G network, right, and the 5G. The 5G is not good for our health, okay, but that's what they do now. So I needed to get a dumb phone that works on the 4G network, and I couldn't find any. There are none. So I had to order one. It's called a light phone. But then Trump happened, fucking Trump. I using fucking a lot here. I like to say that for some reason now. So everything got delayed. It comes from the USA. It's a phone that is not connected to the internet. That's the major thing, okay? It's a major thing. Get a phone that is not connected to the internet. Very important. And yes, I get it. You need your smartphone to do everything. That's what you think. No, you don't need that. You don't need that. So, Bitcoin mining says we can't stop it. We can't stop AI. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can stop AI. It's very simple. You can do it today, actually. Okay, a few words about AI. I'll keep it very quick. You can't stop AI spreading in the general population. Well, I guess it's possible, but I think that's very difficult. But you can stop AI for you. And I think that those people who are saying, if you're not using AI, you're losing, you're not going to be relevant and all of that. It's such a stupid thing to say. You know, it's like that statement will age very poorly. Here's the thing. If you don't use AI and you use your brain instead, if you read books instead of just asking AI, you know, can you imagine how you will be viewed by other people only a couple of years from now on. You will be seen as almost superhuman. Now, you might not believe me, but you will. Please remember this strange guy in this room here with the sleeping bags. He said that if you don't use AI, but instead you read books, you continue studying, you continue educating yourselves, you will be seen as almost superhuman only a couple of years from now. Okay? Your ability to reason will be far beyond other people. Your ability to form abstract thoughts will be miles ahead of other people. And your ability to view things and consider things using critical thinking will be, you will be seen as a genius. And it's, I mean, it's up to you. I guess it's convenient. I don't use AI, but I see that sometimes this fucking smartphone, it jumps for some reason to Google when I do searches, and on the top there, you have the AI answer. I don't want any AI answer. But it's like, you don't have to use that. Use another search engine. It's very easy. You can do that. Get books. Get books now. Paper books, preferably. Or even audiobooks that you can download. Not, the big difference. Audiobooks that you can download and keep on a device that is not connected to the internet, right? Do that. Streaming services is very different because they can then change the book. They can change the words. They can do these changes according to political correctness, for instance. And you won't notice, right? So this is what I'm doing. And will it set you apart? Will it make you estranged, like a stranger in a strange world? Yes, but it's a better life. It is a better life. And it's so telling, that movie was so telling. Matrix, the first one. And they were in those pods, and this one guy, he just wanted to get back into the pod. That movie, almost prophetic. So I think that if you have to be alone to preserve your peace, then be alone. I'll just quickly, before I end this live stream, just try to paint a picture to you of how life can be. And just look at your life now and think about your life now, where you live and things around you, the people around you. Just do that for a few seconds. And then envision the following. You live in a cabin close to the woods, or in the woods, or by the sea, maybe. And you have lots of books. Many of them are old. Some of them are quite new, like the archaeological books books about archaeology and history. They've been, some of them are new, and you have lots of books, okay? And you don't have a TV, you don't have a smartphone, you're not connected to the internet in your cabin, and you have a fireplace. You can sit in front of the fire when it gets cold during those long autumn nights, evenings, should I say. And you like reading, you like walking in the woods, and that's what you do. Maybe you grow your own food, and some people here are saying that I'm in a better position than most, because I'm not a wage slave. Yeah, it's true. I'm not, I'm a novelist, so I have a lot of freedom, but still, even if you have a job, well, then you go to your job then in the morning, and then you come back. And when you are in your cabin, you are in peace. There is no, you don't have the stress of constantly being connected to whatever is trending on social media and all of that. And I don't know about you, but I think that the latter, meaning that life in that cabin near the woods, that's a better life. That's a better life. So, yeah. Now, the smartphone, now that I have had a smartphone for a few months, I'm getting rid of it again as soon as I get this other phone. That will not be connected to the internet, but I think it's a fantastic tool. I will say that. It's a wonderful tool, except it's a fucking surveillance device. And it's like, I don't hate social media. Of course, I don't hate social media. I like Instagram because it's like there are some funny videos and stuff like that. It's all great. But then again, they keep pushing the crap towards you, right? And everything you do is being monitored. And as I've said many, many times, if we all got rid of our smartphone today, the development of AI would stop. All of their plans, the powers that be, all of their plans, they hinge on, can I say that? They are dependent on everyone being surveilled through their smartphone constantly. They would lose all of that control. Instantly gone. And then maybe, here's what I think. If we disconnected from that fake negative fucking nonsense that is being fed to us, and I'm starting to think that it's a big scheme, a plan, it's, as people say, all by design. And I've reacted to that before, and I've said I think it's just more organic than that. But now maybe I've been wrong. It's starting to think that it is all by design. And I don't know. But it's certainly starting to look that way. And nobody's going to tell me, by the way, if we kind of go back a little bit to what I talked about at the beginning of this live stream, nobody's going to tell me that a young woman with stuff injected into her lips so that she looks like a fucking alien, tattooed forehead, and a nose ring. Looks like that because she wants to look like that. Nobody's going to tell me that because it's not true. She's just doing what social media trends and stuff like that is telling her to do. And she thinks that she's fantastic looking like that. It's not true. It's a lie. So if we all disconnected from all of that, and don't get me wrong, if Instagram was about, and I'm guilty on this, looking at videos of little hounds, not hounds, but the ducks, the short-legged ones with cowboy hats on, running around in the field. That's very funny. If it was about that, fine, that's fine. But it's not. It's not. So imagine if we instead connected to nature in a true way. Not in that way that I talk a lot. I need to finish this live stream now, but not in a fake way done for social media. Have you seen these videos? That's Instagram again, I think. Yeah, it must be, because that's the only social media I use. But these women who walk slowly, young women, they walk slowly through the woods in a white dress, carrying a drinking horn, with flowers in their hair. And then they have a text and some music that they stole, playing there, or maybe not stole, but I don't know, but some music, telling us the truth about the Viking Age. Fucking hell, it's so hilarious. First of all, nobody walked slowly through the woods in a white dress, carrying a drinking horn. Come on. It's like, at least don't try to tell people that you are. Don't try to teach people about real history if that's how you want to present it, because that has nothing to do with real history or the gods, the Norse gods. That's not what it's about. It's about connecting with nature. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's all for now. I have things to do. Okay. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'll be back in a few days. By the way, check out my video on the main channel tomorrow. I think you will like it. It's linked to, my main channel is linked to in the video description.